What's up, you guys? I'm Jasper and this is JJ Vids. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing rare options and trim levels that were offered for the 2001 through 2005 Lexus Is300 sedan and Sportcross. And you may be thinking, Jasper, you just said both of the models, the sedan and the Sportcross, but actually there's more models to talk about in today's video, and I'm going to go over all of them with you right now, so stay tuned. A good place to start on the Lexus Is300 is underneath the hood, where we have a naturally aspirated inline six-cylinder producing about 215 horsepower and 218 pound-feet of torque. And that motor that's producing those numbers is dubbed the naturally aspirated 2JZ GE motor, which is found in a lot of mid-90s Toyota Supras. All Lexus Is300s, regardless of sedan or Sportcross, is always going to be rear-wheel drive in North America. And the Sportcross you can only get in a 5-speed automatic from the factory, where the sedan you can get either a 5-speed automatic or a 5-speed manual from the factory. The first trim level we're going to go over with is by far the most common Is300 trim level, and that's going to be the base automatic 5-speed with options trim. The automatic transmission Is300 makes up for about 90% of the total production run for all Lexus Is300s made between 2001 and 2005. The way you can tell you're looking at this really common trim, the base 5-speed with options, is by the following, and I can show you on this car right here. So if you open up this door, the first thing you're going to notice in a base car, you're either going to have these seats right here, the hybrid suede leather seats, which are all power adjustable, or you're going to have the optional full leather seats, which basically makes the whole seat full leather. They're a lot more prone for cracking. I like these seats a lot more because they're a lot more durable and a lot less likely to break on you. Another thing you're going to find in a base Is300 sedan is a standard sunroof, which this Sportcross has. And the final thing you're going to find in a basic Is300 sedan automatic transmission is the automatic transmission. But those are the three main factors that you're going to be able to identify whether or not you have a basic Is300 with options, which is the most common version of the Is300. Oh, and one more thing the base Is300s with options have is these rims, the 17-inch 5-spoke rims. A couple options that you could get for any Lexus Is300, as long as it's not the base model, is a navigation system. And these navigation systems are absolutely prone for failing and nobody wants them. So if you're looking at buying one of these on the used market, try and go with one that has either the open dash tray or just the flat dash tray instead of the navigation unit. Another options these cars came with were heated front seats. My Sportcross did not come with heated front seats. The second trim I'm going to go over with you guys is the base model 5-speed manual with options. And the difference between this trim and the trim that I just mentioned to you guys is simply this. You're going to first of all look at the rims, and the base manual with options is going to have these same 5-spoke 17-inch rims, just like this car has. And when you open up the door, you're going to have the same hybrid suede power adjustable seats, standard for the driver and passenger, with the sunroof. But the main thing you're going to have that's different is going to be this center console, because instead of having an automatic shifter here, you're going to have a manual shifter here. And you're going to be able to tell that this is going to be a factory manual because you're going to have to look for that plaque right there. You're going to have to look for the matching clutch pedals down there. If it's like a rubber clutch pedal that isn't metal like those other ones, you know it's not from the factory like that. And then finally, you want to just make sure you have this whole trim piece right here with the chrome around it, the original boot and the original shifter knob, because that's how you're going to be able to tell it's a original manual Lexus Is300. And the reason I say this is because a lot of people tend to go out and swap these cars from an automatic transmission to a manual transmission, because a big part of the manual sedans is what makes them rare, is that only 10% of all Lexus Is300s produced were made with a 5-speed manual. So a lot of people will find totaled 5-speed manual sedans and then turn their automatic sedan into a manual with the parts car from that totaled manual car. And you see that a lot nowadays, and this is actually a product of just that. I found a manual totaled parts car, took all the components out of there, dropped them into this wagon right here, and we have a as legit as you're going to get, manual Lexus IS300 Wagon Sportcross. But now into the third trim, which is the Sportcross trim. And this is my favorite trim because I think that this is the most special trim out of all the trims I'm going to mention to you in today's video, solely for the reason that the Sportcross was produced in a fraction of the numbers that the sedan was. Throughout the whole production run from 2001 to 2005, there were a little bit over 86,700 sedans in automatic and manual transmissions that were produced. For the Sportcross, through the model years 2002 through 2005, because those were the only model years that they were produced, they didn't produce them in the model year 2001, they only made 3,078 Sportcrosses in North America. There are no more than that. That's what's so special about this car. The fact that it's so rare and a fraction of the number of these were produced as opposed to all the other sedans. Important thing to mention about the Sportcross Wagon variant of the IS300 is that these cars were never made from the factory in a 5-speed manual. These cars were only offered from Lexus in a 5-speed automatic. I also love the Sportcross because it also came standard with a lot of unique features and options that just did not come with the Lexus IS300 sedan. We'll give you a sneak peek on 2 features this car does have that the regular sedan doesn't. No sedans have these 2 features. And one of them is going to be, apologize the mess, but folding down rear passenger seat. All Sportcrosses have folding passenger seats, and then all Sportcrosses also have folding back seats as well, which the regular sedan just does not come with. So now going into the 4th trim level of the Lexus IS300, and that would be the SportDesign. And the SportDesign was really aimed to be the classy derivative of what the Lexus IS300 base already was. And the SportDesign did have a few special things going for it, like special colors that were only for the SportDesign, like Thundercloud Metallic and Alabaster Metallic. It also had darkened headlights and taillights, special 11-spoke grayed out rims, special SportDesign badging on the side. It was only available with a full leather gray or black interior, no hybrid suede available, and you can only get a SportDesign with a sunroof. There was no way for you to get a SportDesign with just a slick top, no sunroof option. So the 5th trim we're going to go over for the Lexus IS300 is the L-Tune model. And for those of you who don't know what the L-Tune is, in the early 2000s, Toyota and Lexus tried to make a Lexus version of TRD, Toyota Racing Development, and that was called L-Tune. And they tried L-Tune on a couple of models in Australia for the GS, and they also tried it on North American Lexus IS300s. And the L-Tune was a pretty cool car. It wasn't necessarily a big jump from the IS300 like a BMW 3 Series to an M3 or anything like that, but it did have a lot of really cool cosmetic upgrades to it, as well as a few performance mods like a L-Tune exhaust, L-Tune springs, L-Tune specific raise rims, Michelin tires, L-Tune badging on the side, L-Tune badging on the grills and on the rear trunk, L-Tune floor mats, L-Tune dash, and a few other L-Tune bits here and there to kind of separate the car from the rest of the Lexus IS300 line. Now to go into the 6th and final trim level offered on the 1st generation 2001 through 2005 Lexus IS300. This is by far the most rare trim you can find, and that trim is the base model without options trim level. And to explain to you guys what this is and how this differentiates from any other model is through the following. Right off the bat, has different rims, smaller 16-inch rims, which are extremely rare to find on North American Lexus IS300s. And another key factor about this stripped down model is that this was the only model offered standard with no sunroof, which offers a lot of weight savings from opposed to having the sunroof, as well as being optioned standard with manual cloth seats instead of the automatic hybrid suede seats or full leather seats, which again is an additional weight savings that you would not have on the normal IS300 model. And for this reason, a lot of people sought out this base model IS300 because one, there's a lot less things to break on these cars, but two, it's the absolute lightest weight, purest version of the IS300 ever made. So for that reason, you're going to have a lot of race people, car enthusiasts looking for these type of cars, but you're also just going to have a lot of normal people looking for these cars because they're the least likely to break with the least amount of electronical components to fail. And to put it in perspective on how rare the base model Lexus IS300 sedans are, comparing them to the regular manual IS300 sedan, which accounts for about 10% of the total production number, it is a very small fraction of that number. I would say probably between the numbers of 2 and 5% total for stock basic Lexus IS300s with no sunroof, cloth powered seats, and a 5-speed manual from the factory. But I think that's going to be a great place to leave off today's video, you guys, because I got to go over all 6 trim levels that were offered for the Lexus IS300 first generation through the model years 2001 through 2005. And those models being the base model with options 5-speed automatic, the base model with options 5-speed manual, the Sportcross automatic, the SportDesign model, the L-Tune model, and by far the most rarest, the base stripped down model Lexus IS300 manual transmission. So if you guys enjoyed this video and if you guys saw that I said anything wrong, leave a comment down below. This is my second video that I've made regarding this car. I'll leave a link in the description below and a little tab up here for the previous videos that I've made, but I really enjoyed making today's video, and if you guys did too, make sure to give me a like and subscribe. I'll make more videos like this, and I'm also still doing the $50 O'Reilly's gift card giveaways, so make sure to take a look at the description below to learn more about that. But with that being said, thank you everyone for watching today's video. I'll see you next time, and cheers.